Akita Brown, Keith Cox, Tara Welsh Gallagher, Mary Lou Gale, Alex Gusev, Josh Hardy, Missy Langer, Rich Nettleton, Kate Nixon, Chris Rapp, Bert Snelling, Bobby Williams. Those are the 12 people who were killed in cold blood, without warning, without reason, as their workday was coming to an end on a sunny spring day.
The VBStrong Center will be an opportunity, or give an opportunity for family members to come together, to be together, to talk and to share like experiences and what each and every one of them is going through. In addition to the physical center, we will have an online website presence. We will also offer via the internet teleconferencing support, provide resources, and to reach out to the broader community that may not have access specifically to this physical space. The services and the programs will evolve over time. I think they need to. I think the needs today are going to be different 6 months from now, a year from now. And I think we'll want to stay close and work with those impacted to better understand those needs. And walk-ins are welcome, and anybody in the community that's been impacted by events of May 31st are welcome here.
Great to be back here in Virginia Beach today. We did have a tremendous tragedy. Back on May the 31st, we lost 12 precious lives, 4 others were injured. And you know, these tragedies affect families, they affect community, and so for Virginia Beach to step up with the help of Centera and to open up this VBStrong Center to really reach out to the community and continue the healing process, provide hope for the community. It's just, it's very commendable for these folks to come together and do that.
VBStrong says, we're not going to let those terrible events of May 31st get us down, and we're not going to be bowed over for those terrible events, and we're going to be strong about it and be positive in our communities.
It defines us as a city, that we will not be defined by an act of terror, and that we are in fact resilient. We're going to move forward, and we're going to come back even more united as a community and go forward. We're going to make a great city even greater.
I think we clearly want to let the community know of the programs and services that we are offering here in partnership with the City of Virginia Beach. I think we've tried to take a personal touch in reaching out on an individual, one-on-one, to each family, each survivor, to really offer our condolences. We will now cut the ribbon and unveil the new VBStrong Center. Before you all leave here, I invite you to leave your mark on our VBStrong Center painting. During our private tours with families and loved ones yesterday, they began this artwork by each leaving a colorful paint stroke on the canvas. When our open house tours are over, we will unveil the art design and have it on display here at the center.
Now is the time to come together with a great rebuilding tool, because we are VBStrong.
So the Minority Business Council serves small businesses and minority businesses within the city of Virginia Beach. And it's important to have because it's important for the economic vitality of our city. And we understand that we know, coming from a disparity study, the better our small business and minority businesses can do it within our city, the better our economy is and the more to thrive.
Well, one of the council's goals is to make sure that we support our small women and minority-owned business. And this is a signature event each year that we have, that small women and minority businesses can get together and meet all representatives for doing business with the city, the state, and the federal government.
You and your businesses are so important and part of our economic vitality. The City of Virginia Beach takes pride in supporting our minority community, our SWAM, our disabled veterans, and small businesses, because they're such a vital part of our business community, and they work in conjunction with our city staff, and it's a beautiful collaboration that's really yielding some fantastic results over the last number of years.
Obviously, that takes a lot of people to make that happen, but when it comes to the core collective that surrounds Pharrell, there's only about 12 of us total. But we are very much a small business and minority owned at that.
First of all, there's going to be great opportunities to network, and there will be opportunities to get in front of these representatives from the different procurement departments of the City of Virginia Beach and the state and at federal level. So it's an excellent opportunity to see what's out there and to introduce yourself.
Well, as a first-time visitor to the Minority Business Council conference, I was delighted with the speakers and the information about local businesses and what the city is doing to promote small and minority-owned businesses, and the focus on Pharrell and his organization.
So right now I'm a personal chef. I go into people's homes and I feed them. So, you know, they'll hire me to come in, prepare the meal, and, you know, attempt to put their kitchens back the way that I found it. This is my first year attending, and I just made a lot of connections. So I love the camaraderie amongst the small businesses here that I've been seeing, and I think it'll just help to grow my business with meeting new people and partnering too.
This is an event we've had for a number of years, and it started off with a little small attendance, a few vendors, and it's just grown exponentially each year. Seniors feel like they can come here, they can learn something, they can have some entertainment, you know, some socialization with everybody. They get a lunch, and it seems to be very popular, and it's done well.
One of the greatest things about what makes Virginia Beach so wonderful to live in are the people. And we value everyone, but especially our senior community that have given so much over the years. When you think about that, many of these people, you know, they've been through the Depression, they've been through World War II, they've been through good times, they've been bad times. You know, we want to embrace everybody in the city, and especially give our senior population the recognition and respect that they deserve.
Well, for the past 8 years, I've been a volunteer with the Virginia Beach Police Department Project Lifesaver program. And as a result of the Project Lifesaver program, I've had cause to attend this event on several occasions. And here is a learning experience, again, of what is available to those of us who are going a little bit older and more mature here in the future.
Oh, I got a year's supply of pens, but talking to the vendors is really a lot of information out there for us.
So what we are doing now is giving them also some information about Medicare in general. Because this is a healthcare event, we cannot, or an educational event, we cannot bring products. But Optima Health does offer a wider range of products for their Medicare Advantage for some seniors.
Project Lifesaver is a program, an international program. What it is that people who have a tendency to wander, whether it be through autism, Alzheimer's, dementia, brain injury, the police department goes out and puts a transmitter on them that looks almost like a wristwatch. And then when they are missing, their loved one would contact the police department. The police department would then set up receivers to immediately try and find the person. And normally they find them within 22 minutes.
If you walk around and talk to the vendors, you'll find them addressing every issue you can imagine, from legal help to all kinds of physical ailments and planning, financial help. This one room has just a multitude of information.
Today I'm getting the Lifesavers Award from the mayor for saving a life of one of the high school football players from Princess Anne High School. So I was there that day and he collapsed and was able to save his life using an AED.
This is the city's way of honoring people that do extraordinary things. You know, for instance, we had a young lady here that was trained in CPR knew exactly what to do, saved a life. 10 local school teams were having football practice. After the second game of one-hand touch football, Kate heard coaches yelling for a trainer. She quickly responded to the area where she saw a student was laying on the ground.
It was not what I was expecting for that day, and so seeing him and seeing how he was not reacting to me, I recognized it very quickly and was able to get the appropriate equipment over. He's doing okay. He's not playing football, but he is alive and breathing. I've talked to his parents, and they're both very grateful.
On Tuesday, July 9th, 2019, at approximately 11 p.m., Captain Brian Stinger was riding his bike through a neighborhood when he noticed a strong gas smell.
My wife and I were taking the dogs out on the bikes around the neighborhood, and originally made one pass through Mr. Hargrove's in front of his house, and smelled the hint of gas. Just thought it was, odd.
Kids are already in bed. I had my grandkids down for the summer, so I had 3 other kids in the house, plus my granddaughter. So it's like 5 children in the house. It was late. My wife says somebody's knocking on the door.
So I knocked on his door, and alerted him, and from there we just called the fire department.
He says, "Hey, I smell gas, and I noticed you got a gas meter in your house." And I said, "Really?" The fire department got there first, and they had a sniffer. It turned out it was a major leak. The pipe was actually disconnected.
This is what I like to think the people of Virginia Beach are about. The strength of Virginia Beach are the people.
He took an action. He actually stopped his routine and took an action, did an investigation, and actually saved my family's life, my house, and probably my neighbors' houses too.
I am so honored to be able to do this. It's unbelievable. I am humbled by the people that I give these awards to.
Hello and welcome to VB411. I'm your host, Ms. Information, the know-it-all in City Hall, here again to bring truth and clarity to misconceptions and rumors. Today's hot topic addresses change for the better. Virginia Beach is frequently recognized among the best places to live, work, and play in the entire country. But even when something is good, it can always be better. If you've ever had an idea of how to improve the city of Virginia Beach, the planning department wants to hear from you. That feedback, along with the input of staff and experts, is what shapes the comprehensive plan. So what is the comprehensive plan? Well, in a nutshell, it guides land use, city resources, transportation, housing, and public policies. It's the city's projected blueprint for a sustainable future. To begin updating the plan this time, we created a survey to find out what trends and resources are a big deal to you, our residents. Since the comp plan is a long-term strategy, surveys and other public events are used to find out what our public currently wants to keep, get rid of, and what new things are needed. Here with more details are Bobby Tahan, Director of Planning and Community Development, and Josh Schulman, Council-appointed member of VB 2040. Now, we'll get more on who that group is in just a moment. So welcome to you both.
Thanks for having us.
Now, Bobby, the first question goes to you. How does the comp plan directly affect the daily lives of residents and community partners?
So the comp plan is required by state law to be updated every 5 years and amended as needed. The important thing is it helps to guide our vision for the future. It provides policy direction for City Council and Planning Commission as they look at applications.
Great. Now, Josh, I mentioned that you were a member of the VB 2040 group. Now, what exactly is that, and why are you so passionate about getting everyone involved?
Thank you. VB 2040 is a group of City Council appointees, volunteers who are passionate about the city of Virginia Beach. We're a diverse bunch, and our job is to make sure that city leadership is in tune with what residents feel is important. We're passionate about getting involved in this initiative because big decisions like the comp plan require input from a lot of people because they impact a lot of people. So we're seeking that input from the public.
Wonderful. Now, public input has always been necessary for creating a comp plan, but your team is doing something new this time around to give everyone a chance to speak up, and it involves our phones, right?
It sure does. You can go to publicinput.com/VB comp plan, and you'll pull up a survey. It won't take long.
All right, so let's take a look at this survey question. Which of the following were reasons you chose to live where you do now? Select all that apply. You can choose location, convenience, historic value, new construction, home design, nearby schools, price, and safety. Oh, and you can select other and fill in your own response. Well, now, Bobby, how does the planning department use the responses to shape the comp plan?
So ideally, we would have all these resources around us as we live and play in the city. However, we have to get focused. So using these questions, we can help to focus our goals and priorities around the things where we're deficient, and hopefully also highlight the things that we're doing well that the public sees.
So this public input process is now open, but there is way more to creating the comp plan than just gathering feedback, right?
There is, but we want to have a lot of feedback for this comp plan. The Planning Commission and City Council needs it to help create their goals and strategies. What we have first going on is we have this high-level version of public input, where then we're going to go out and meet people where they are and have more detailed public input where they have a chance to learn more about the policies that the city looks to create. Then also after that, we look to hopefully have a draft document created by the end of 2020 and hopefully go for adoption at the beginning of 2021.
Great. So aside from the survey, are there other ways for the community to get involved?
Absolutely. You can go to vbgov.com and search comp plan, and there you'll find a list of events and other community engagements where our comp plan ambassadors and VB 2040 crew will be out encouraging people to take the survey. And you won't be able to miss us because we've got shirts with bright pink letters on them that say "Speak Up Today," because that's exactly what we want you to do.
Right. Well, I mean, while we've been talking, I almost had time to complete the survey, and you're right, it is quick and easy. Thanks so much for coming by and getting me and my audience involved.
Thank you for having us.
And now you're in the know. Thanks for joining us today. Do you have a question you'd like us to answer on the air? Well, send an email to misinfo@vbgov.com and we'll get on it. See you next time.
Miles James, born into slavery in Princess Anne County, made his way to Portsmouth and enlisted in the U.S. Army.
Today we're having an unveiling of a Virginia Historic Highway marker to honor Sergeant Miles James, who is the city's first Medal of Honor recipient. And he's one of 25 African American soldiers and sailors out of 200,000 volunteers who received this award during the Civil War.
There's so many of our soldiers in the past we don't even know about. And they should be in history books. Our children should be taught what they did.
Miles James was born into slavery, as was his wife, in Princess Anne County, which is now Virginia Beach. And he managed to reach the Union lines during the Civil War.
He was involved in a battle outside of Petersburg. He was grievously wounded in the left arm, requiring it to be amputated there on the field of battle.
He continued charging in the face of heavy fire, almost certain death.
He kept on fighting, led his troops. That was so great. Oh, so great.
He went back into battle, helped to lead his troops forward, and was even able to load and discharge a weapon with his remaining one hand and arm.
He's a hero for everyone. I think it's really important in the military community that we find these heroes that are forgotten and recognize them.
It's unique based on the fact that you have 10 volunteer rescue squads, and they are each operate under their own set of rules and regulations, but are yet governed by the city's Department of EMS.
Really unique part is the fact that it's all volunteer. I think there's very few places in the United States that are still all volunteer. In the case of Ocean Park, where I am, it goes back to 1940 something. It's been around for years and years and years. So that is probably the most unique part of it. And they are responsible for not only operating, but funding their own equipment, their own real estate. And it's really a small business that requires everything a small business would require in support of the people who really do the operational work, the medics, the EMTs.
Everybody has to perform to the same standards, but yet they have multiple or different bodies to govern individual stations.
The important thing is to get the medics out on the road. And they do this in some cases 48 hours a month, irrespective of their civilian jobs and whatever else they might be doing. But they've got to have a supply system, for instance, that they can rely on. They've got to have vehicles that they can rely on. I'm sure for anybody that's viewing this, there is a place in a rescue squad for them, no matter what they might regard as their particular abilities and ability to handle things.
The multitude of jobs for those who are not wanting or looking to be certified as an EMT or paramedic is amazing. You can do office work at an individual station. You can be a member of their board. You can take care of ambulances. You can assist with students who are becoming EMTs and paramedics. You never have to do the same thing.
They aid us in many different ways. We are doing a testing for all of our academy students. So our academy students have to go through a rigorous program, and then at the end they have to actually show what they learned in a physical hand-on test. So what tonight we're doing is we're actually going through their state testing. We bring in patients and we call the term moulage them. So we make them look like they have the injuries and the medical conditions that they're actually going to fake and pretend. So the support services team comes in and they help us moulage. They volunteer to come in here and they actually spend their time helping the students actually become a real patient. Instead of just pretending on a dummy, we actually have a real live person to do it on. You can imagine having to actually perform these hands-on tasks at last minute, being all turned and twisted and doing it on somebody who can't moan and groan or can't tell you what's wrong. And pretending is very different. If you have to pretend on a pillow or a mannequin, but if you can pretend on somebody else who's actually real life, it helps. It helps their real world situation. They also do a lot of behind the scenes things. You know, they open all the stuff, they get the skills rooms ready. Anybody from 18 and over who would love to do this, it'd be great support services too. You don't have to get on a box to help.
For those that don't understand the volunteer aspect, you're giving back to the community, and it's because not everything is monetary. You don't always have to give money to a charity. You can support them more by giving your time, and that's what you're doing as a volunteer with the Department of EMS. If I had to describe what I do in one word, it would be interesting, and that's because of the variety of the jobs that you can select as a support service member.
Hello and welcome to VB411. I'm your host, Ms. Information, the know-it-all in City Hall, here again to bring truth and clarity to misconceptions and rumors. The hot topic of the day, 5G small cell towers. Now these mini towers are transmitters used to boost wireless signals. Now they've been in the news lately, and they've also caught the attention of our residents in neighborhoods where they've appeared. Telecommunication companies are installing them throughout the city, and some residents are concerned about where these mini towers are going and what the city can do about them. So let's get the 411. Now, when talking about the small cell towers, one thing to keep in mind is that the term small refers to the range of the service, not the physical size of the hardware. In fact, the finished hardware could be about the size of a household refrigerator in some cases. It is usually mounted on a utility pole. Currently, Verizon and AT&T are the two providers primarily installing the 5G hardware here. However, other carriers have expressed interest in doing the same. The small cell towers won't be replacing the regular cell towers anytime soon. Rather, these smaller units are meant to augment existing infrastructure by providing more capacity in dense urban areas. Not everyone is happy these units are popping up, and some have asked what the city can do about it. Unfortunately, the answer is not much at all. State laws passed in 2017 and 2018, SB 1282 and HB 1258, respectively, made it much easier for mobile telecoms to place their hardware along the city's rights-of-way. Unless there is a public safety concern or a violation of a building code, the city can't deny a permit to an operator who wants to place small cell equipment on a pole. Virginia is what is known as a Dillon Rule state, which means local governments have limited authority to enact ordinances and laws. Unless the General Assembly has specifically granted localities permission to make a rule about something, they can't. And even if that weren't the case, any state law would override a local law unless it's grandfathered in. So, If there's a utility pole in the city's right-of-way near your home and a telecom company wants to place 5G equipment on it, it's likely to happen. Still, there is a bit of good news here. In an effort to be good neighbors, AT&T and Verizon have both created websites where concerned residents can reach out to them. In some instances, after hearing from homeowners, the telecom has agreed to move the site to an adjacent pole. Now, it's important to know that they're under no obligation to change their plans, and there's no promise everyone who reaches out will get a site moved. The other good bit of news, if they want to place a small cell on privately owned property, like, for example, your backyard, a homeowner can say no. Or they can negotiate terms to allow the placement of a site if they so desire. The laws passed by the General Assembly only apply to public property and rights-of-way. Now, the city is also working on some aesthetic guidelines for the telecoms, but again, since we don't have any regulatory authority over them, the best we can hope for is voluntary compliance. For more information, including the contact information for the wireless operators currently installing 5G sites in Virginia Beach, please visit our companion website, vbgov.com/VB411. And while you're there, you can check out articles and episodes of our previous topics. Now, moving on to our next segment, a resident recently reached out to their city council representative looking for clarification on trash carts. Specifically, do the carts stay with the property or do they belong to the homeowner? Well, I asked our friends in waste management, and as it turns out, the black trash carts belong to whoever bought the trash cart. So unless it's specifically listed in the sale of a house that the trash cart will be left behind, a homeowner can take it with them when they move. If you need a trash cart, give one of our waste management customer service representatives a call at 385-4650, and they can arrange the pickup or delivery of a new cart. Black trash carts are $75 each and come with a 10-year warranty. So if a wheel falls off, it cracks, or the lid snaps off, it will be repaired free of charge. The only thing the warranty doesn't cover is theft or fire damage. So please keep the hot ashes out of the bin. For more information about trash and recycling in Virginia Beach, please visit vbgov.com/wastemgt and click on Curbside Services. And now you're in the know. Thanks for joining me today. Do you have a question you'd like us to answer on the air? Well, send an email to misinfo@vbgov.com and we'll get on it. See you next time.
Ray Pearson Ben here with your very latest Virginia Beach Sportscenter Q A. And our question today is coming from Micaiah and Cardrell. They are math scholars at Green Run High School. Take it away, guys.
Thanks, Ms. Ray.
And here's the question. How many tacos would spectators have to purchase to reach the top of the arena if they were stacked vertically? A, 215 tacos, B, 75 tacos, or C, 100 tacos?
Tacos? Oh, that's tricky. Now I'm hungry. Oh, what's the answer?
Vertically means end to end, so the answer is C. For every 2 tacos, that's a foot, so 50 times 2 is 100.
And the Sports Center is 50 feet tall. Wow, that's a lot of tacos.
Thank you, Micaiah and Cardrell, for that amazing question that has now made me hungry. We are celebrating with you and your classmates Green Run High School's 40th anniversary.
Human rights can be thought of as the common bond we share with every human being, not just our fellow Americans. To keep the spotlight focused on the value and absolute importance for human rights for all of us. Thank you, Commission, regardless of where we come from, regardless of where we stand on this or that. We believe that human rights are everyone's rights. We believe in the words of the great Nelson Mandela. To deny people their human rights is to challenge their very humanity.
Well, I was happy to join the Human Rights Commission and residents from across our city and really across the region to be together, to honor and recognize the human rights of everyone who lives in our community, especially to recognize those individuals and organizations who have made a considerable contribution to the area of human and civil rights.
I have been involved with the Human Rights Commission for the last 15 years. It was a pleasure to work with these individuals that represent the mosaic, the portrait of what makes Virginia Beach such a great community, the diversity, the inclusion, the dedication of these folks to make sure that everyone is treated with respect and dignity. And, you know, they're the glue that really helps hold the city together in many ways.
I'd like to thank the Human Rights for conferring me with this great honor. I know that access, inclusion, and economic empowerment are imperatives of freedom.
I am humbled to receive this award from the Human Rights Commission. This is very gratifying from a number of different standpoints. I've received many awards in my career, but to receive an award with such special significance as human rights, it's very fulfilling.
The Virginia Beach Police Department and the Human Rights Commission has had a long-standing relationship, and we applaud them every year for their advocacy for all people.
Commander Arnetta Spikes is a long-time resident of Virginia Beach. She is a retired Navy commander who served in the U.S. Navy for 25 years.
Some of her accomplishments include being a stalwart supporter of the Men of Faith organization, helping this organization develop new procedures for improving existing programs and identifying a lack of diversity in Virginia Beach public schools and the need to expand programming.
It was a very humbling experience to receive the Human Rights Award. If someone didn't think that they were just their one voice didn't make a difference, I would have to challenge that. All it takes one voice. What you can do for someone else who can't speak.
The Sheriff's Office is receiving the Myra U. Obendorf Community Service Award, which I'm very proud of, and it's for community service by the deputies above and beyond their duty at the jail, like with mental health and hurricane cleanup and things of that nature. Couldn't be prouder. I think I got the best law enforcement agency in Virginia.
Every single person can make a difference. You can make a difference in the life of another person, in your family, at your school, in your workplace. The greatest gift that we can give each other is our individual kindness to each other, and I think that spirit was on full display here tonight.
We're here at Williams Farm Recreation Center and having a chance to celebrate one of our program services, SOS, or Students on the Swim.
People are teaching me how to swim.
The school is offering an awesome opportunity for 2 weeks for the second grade class to learn to swim and develop their skills in different ways.
The teacher actually throws the rings really far. I actually have to go all the way down there to get them.
Today is a celebration of the Students on the Swim program. We are celebrating our 5th year.
We're now up to 30 schools and 2,500 second graders learning how to swim every year at the rec centers.
So just imagine the amount of students that are touched by this program.
Almost 10,000 children have learned to swim through this program.
And here in Virginia Beach, we're surrounded by water, whether it's the bay, the ocean, the inlets, ponds, lakes, pools.
It's very important that these children know how to swim, at least know how to save themselves if they happen to fall in water.
What I love about this program is some of these kids have never ever been in water before. It's a chance to experience being in the water, being safe.
Just be able to get in the water and not be afraid and completely go under the water.
I feel like I am Aquaman because my arms, legs, all over my body are pretty strong.
His confidence level has completely done a 180. He was always apprehensive about not holding onto the wall or holding onto somebody, and now he is jumping off the edge and swimming out by himself and floating and just doing everything that you should be able to do in the water.
I can literally live in water. I'm built for water. Plus my legs are especially very, very powerful, so it helps me propel. You have a tiny, tiny six-pack.
The reason I started was because I almost drowned as a child. I was 4 years old, I almost drowned, and I never really learned to swim. And we live in a water community, and I thought our children should know that. They should know how to swim because it is the second leading cause of death for children under 15, according to the CDC, and it's preventable.
About it, our school system is probably in the top 50, I'm sure, across the country for being innovative and doing things. When you think about the outreach of education You know, being able to take time during the school day, this is another educational element, one that might not traditionally happen in other school systems, but again, we're going to be innovative and make sure that we're working to have the key things that our young folks need for their quality of life in the early stages.
The reality is in Virginia Beach, we're always looking to do what's best for our kids, and we're willing to take risks and to make decisions that really put our kids in a position to be successful, whether that's in the classroom or outside of the classroom in our community, and this is just another great example of that.
If I had to describe this swim program in one word, the adjective I would use is confidence. It builds not just here in the pool, but it builds their confidence in the classroom and in their life. In a situation like this with other peers, they have completely transformed. They come out of the pool with huge smiles on their face.
Terrific partnership with Parks and Rec, not just for the students on the swim program, but for so many programs, after school programs, before school programs, and of course all the youth activities that our kids participate in. So we're thrilled with the ongoing partnership with Parks and Rec, and we look forward to seeing that continue to grow.
So this year we've really been building upon our PBIS school culture, and in that we've created this idea of 4 houses, 1 family. We call ourselves Casa de Cook. And so our students have really built this community from within, and we're trying to show that this community extends beyond just our school building.
The sheriff has always said our community comes first. It's in our mission statement. It's what we teach our deputies from the ground level at the academy. And this just is proof that we are part of our community and that our community accepts and respects us because we love them just as much.
Our mentors, our sheriff's deputies in particular, are a vital part of our school. All of our students who are learning English have a bilingual sheriff's mentor, a mentee and a mentor relationship, and what that brings about is pure magic. And so we needed to make sure that they felt a part of our house as well. And so we invited them in, we had the dog come in, and everyone got sorted, and it really brings this sense of unity that we may be 4 different houses with a lot of different people and backgrounds and ethnicities, but we're still one family.
So when at the beginning of the pep rally, I had my staff line the hallway, and when the children were coming through, we do like a football funnel is what it's called, and it's amazing because the children see that we're here for them, that we are here to help them, to support them, and if they ever need us, they can come to us. So that feeling when the kids come through and they're high-fiving us, we're showing them a different side of law enforcement. We're showing them that, hey, we're not bad guys, that we're actually here to help you. And the kids just love it. They feed off of it, they understand it, and I think that's an important message that we need to provide to them.
We started to dance to Baby Shark, the most infamous dance and song of the year, and my favorite part has to be the amount of love that the children give us. That's probably the most rewarding thing about this. It's absolutely just great to have a child to be able to look up to you as a hero, as a human, as that safety net for them. It's just, there's nothing better than that.
My mentee is named Marcos. He's from Guatemala. He's about 6 years old. I enjoy coming, having lunch with him at least once or twice a month. At first, when I first met him, he seemed to be very shy. So when the teacher brought him, I met him in the lunchroom. I just smiled. He had this big wide smile, and it's kind of infectious. And I felt like I connected with him. And the first thing that when he saw me, he goes, "You know what? I want to be a police officer one day." So that really touched me when he said that.
It only takes one person in somebody's life to make a difference. And so in our school, we have 540 students, and we try to be all that we can to everyone, but to give every kid that is in need a special person who is only taking an interest in them only. And especially someone who speaks your language when nothing in your new world is familiar. The people, the customs, the cultures, the language, everything is unfamiliar. So to have somebody who's coming in to just be with you and you can be safe in that sort of environment where you can communicate is really powerful and a game changer for our kids.